Now, it's time for the Varsity Radio Show. Here's your host, Seth Henniger.
What's up, guys? We are so glad to be back here with you on 88.5 JFM. And what makes every varsity show great, I believe, it's the guys and girls who come into this room, from the athletes to the co-host to the producer. And I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. He really is. He's a good friend of mine. All the way from California. He lives here now. But all the way from California. He's a professional fisherman. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Phillip Dutra. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm good. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Seth. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, he's got this really cool fish shirt, you know, and Chinese graphics or something on your hat. That's pretty cool, man. I like it.
It's California graffiti style.
Yeah. So, Phillip's way cooler than I am. So anyway, I also want to introduce, I always say also, it's such an understatement. We call him the Willy Wonka of radio. He makes the Oompa Loompas appear. He makes magic happen. He slides the sliders, pushes the buttons, and makes the memes come up in front of our face. His name, Steven Spiegel.
What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. We've got a really good show lined up. We're talking about some fishing today.
Yeah.
It's going to be good stuff.
Man, and when you live at Lake Gunnersville, you can't figure that out enough, right?
Lake Gunnersville is the capital, for you guys that don't know, of bass fishing really in the country. It is the epicenter of tournament bass fishing.
Wow. That's phenomenal. Phil was telling me this, Steven. He said Lake Gunnersville is the New York Yankee Stadium of bass fishing.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, I see the sponsor guys, but we are going to have freshman Kaden Randles and junior Landon Black from the DAR fish team. Man, they're excited to meet you, Phillip. It's going to be a good day.
I'm excited to meet them, man. It's really cool that they have high school fishing now. They didn't have that when I grew up, so it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a big deal around here. Hey, and what else is a big deal? Meme of the week.
Memes of the week.
We're going to check these out, and I think this is hilarious because if you know anything about eggs, actually my neighbor, he introduced me to his chicken yesterday. He has a chick. He calls her Betty White. She's cooler than sliced bread. Betty White was born before sliced bread. But these memes are extra special, I think. I don't know if you've ever watched House Hunters. It's a really funny... It's a show where they go into the houses and they have this budget. And it says... And it's got this guy. It says, stay-at-home dad. And it says... This is the wife. It says, resells eggs online. Budget, $3.69 million. Right? Eggs have become the new legacy thing. When I went over to my neighbor's house, I suggested this. I painted my chicken coop. Egg production tripled in only 3 days, right? He painted it like KFC. Okay. Like, I'll show you what's going to happen. And then this, the other egg meme, it cracks me up right here. Right. One more over. Right there. Wealth in 2019, actually, it was money. It was money. 2020, it was toilet paper. Right?
That's
you
true.
know?
I remember that.
2021, it was lumber. And then 23, what defines wealth? Eggs.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But true.
And then how about you read this one right here, Phillip? This is so true. I don't know how you like your steak, but...
Well done is for good and faithful servants, not steaks. You're welcome.
Right?
I don't get it.
Yeah, well done. Do you eat your steak well done?
No, rare.
Okay.
Gotta have it rare.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it well done.
No.
Well done is for good and faithful servants, not steaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got it. A little slow.
That's okay. And this kills me. Steven, did you read this?
I did.
I figured you would appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a picture of this giant barbecue. And it says thousands of people plan to attend a barbecue in front of the home of a vegan Australian woman who took her neighbors to court over the smell of meat cooking in their own backyard.
Oh my gosh, is that real?
I did not research that, but I'm going to pretend that it is and hope that it is because that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
It is.
And so, and then this. I just witnessed a lady throw away the center of a cinnamon roll. I'm talking about the center of a cinnamon roll. The greatest bite of a cinnamon roll. The reason you get the cinnamon roll, the center of the cinnamon roll. This world is full of monsters. Monsters. Right, Steven?
That's right.
I tell you where there's no monsters, and that's the Charburger, and you got to eat one of the burgers. What'd you think, Phil?
Great burger. I live right behind it. I go there all the time. They make a killer burger.
You just walked there today.
I do. It's 100 yards down the road.
I mean, he's blessed with heavenly manna down the road. That's not fair. But the Charburger, it's the home of the famous Char Grill Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteaks, and jumbo crispy onion rings. Then there's B&B Video Games. They have a video game retail store in the front. They have an 80s style arcade in the back. This is right by the Pizza Hut, because if you think of the 80s, there had to be a Pizza Hut by the video game place. It had to happen. And so it's so appropriate. That's B&B Video Games. Hey, we're going to take a quick minute, and we're going to go to a music break, but we will be back with FCA Moment of the Week.
Here's the number one song of the nation. It's Zonti with Jesus Called My Name right here on the Varsity Radio Show. I hope you really like it. It's brand new.
So, anyway, I want to talk to you.
We're not.
Oh, yeah, we're on. We're on to the cameras.
Okay.
No, it's okay. So, there's something that some stories I want to talk to you about, some things I'm really excited about. One, and you're just getting into Alabama football, Phillip. So he lives with an Auburn fan, Steven.
Oh, no.
You know,
Split house.
Yeah.
Split house.
Wife is Auburn fan. Omar's he's a Bama fan, kind of.
Is his wife a Bama fan?
They're both kind of blended now. They used to be hardcore, and I think they've kind of come to the middle and blended a little bit. They root for both.
Okay, yeah. Well, this year, basketball season's been really good for Alabama. You know, I used to live in North Carolina, and in North Carolina, basketball rules. So you got North Carolina and Duke hate each other as bad as Alabama does Auburn. I mean, the rivalry's that bad. Alabama basketball they're actually 17-2 now for the first time since the 76-77 season. What an impressive start. For the first time since 2002-2003, I didn't even know they were this good then. They are number 2 in the top 25. That's insane. We're supposed to be good at football.
That's crazy.
Basketball, I'm excited about that. I've actually not watched one game, but the rise to power for Alabama basketball, what a big deal. And we're excited about that. Also talking about Alabama, I saw the stat, Steven. I was so impressed with this stat that over Nick Saban's terms, this may make you throw up in your mouth, Alabama has produced $1.94 billion for former players and coaches under Nick Saban.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's truly insane.
That's a whole lot of money.
He's on a whole nother level.
He is. And
maybe he was, maybe give a little advice to the basketball coach. Maybe that's why we're doing so good.
I will say, because of the money he's brought in, I believe they were finally able to purchase a nice basketball coach. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Also, it's translated. Alabama football has translated into the NFL, which I don't watch a ton of. But for the first time in the history of the NFL, there are 70 players from Alabama in the NFL.
Crazy.
70. There's never been any that much. Alabama becomes the first college program to have 70 players, former players from Alabama in the NFL. And I was so happy about this, Steven. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yep.
But they fired the two coordinators. I bet, God answers prayers, Phillip. God answers.
Amen.
Even for things like this. And I have wanted the defensive and offensive coordinator of Alabama gone. And God answered me. He's so good. And so, just breaking, I think, today or yesterday, Bill O'Brien took a job. He took a job with the New England Patriots as their offensive coordinator.
Wow.
Praise God. So, you like that? Yeah, did you watch any Bama games this
I
year?
did. I even went to one of them.
Oh, yeah. Which one did you go to?
I went to the very first game.
What'd you think?
It was crazy. Coming from California, college football is nothing, and college football is everything out here.
UCLA,
yeah, but it's not the culture is not like what it is
Not
here
like
in Alabama.
here.
It's absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm just trying to play speed catch up on college football, Alabama. I did watch quite a few of the games. It's really cool watching Bryce Young play. I've been a big football fan my whole life, NFL, and
he was from California.
that's right. SoCal,
Bryce,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
So he's a beast.
He is. I'm really looking forward to seeing who he plays for in the NFL.
They're projecting him to be actually the draft I saw today projecting him to go number 1 in the NFL draft.
Doesn't surprise me.
As the number 1, number 2 projection. Will Anderson Jr., our defensive guy, which is phenomenal. Also, which is really cool. Cool things that have happened. He's not there yet, is he, Carter?
Not yet. I'll let you know when he is.
All right. Cool things I've noticed is the guys who've really stood out. Pro Bowl vote. I don't even watch the Pro Bowl, but offensive Pro Bowl. I can't talk. Pro Bowl vote leaders by position for the AFC. Tua Tagovailoa got voted number 1. He was a high leader in that, and Jalen Hurts, who for the first time, this is really cool. Learn this. First time in 40 years, an Alabama quarterback has finally won a playoff game in the NFL. So they haven't won. An Alabama quarterback has not won what am I saying? That has not won the playoffs. A playoff game in the last 40 years.
Wow.
And so he just broke that streak Sunday.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Jalen Hurts is killing it. So I love that. I love that stat. I love how that's going. So also Devontae Smith sets the Eagles single season record for catches for a receiver for the history. These are all Bama players. It's just amazing.
Was that history for the Eagles or for
the
NFL?
Eagles.
Eagles.
For the Eagles, which is pretty cool. And so, and then Steven, I saw this. I really watched Funny Main Jermaine. I don't know how Alabama fans would react. I love this when he found out Pete Golden was going. I think this is the best portrayal I've ever seen. And so, here it is. That's how I reacted. Let's go! Right? That is so true. That's how I felt about losing Pete Golden. And so, also, Bill O'Brien, I had a similar reaction, who, like I said, left our team today or yesterday, one of the two. We suspected it. He had a contract. It ran out, thank God. The Lord's good. He answers prayers, Phillip. All prayers.
Even football.
Even football. There he is, Carter. The man.
Howdy.
That's a beautiful beard, Carter.
Thank you. I grew it myself.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Unique. I like that, man. So how's Carter's day?
Carter's day is packed, I guess. It's a very diverse day today. I'm doing high school, college, and community stuff all on the same day, which is kind of rare.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
College.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
We're taking some pizzas to Wallace State tonight for their softball team.
Nice.
And I don't know what else that involves. I know we're giving them pizza. If they ask us to share, we'll share.
Yeah.
If not,
when you take pizzas, do you also get to participate in said pizzas?
it depends if I estimate. You know, So the other night, I took some to Snead State, their baseball team, and got to speak to them, and I had a pizza left over that I got to partake in. So
that is very kind of them.
Very kind. So,
it's amazing.
30 seconds, guys.
All right, 30 seconds. It's amazing that they let you have that. Like,
oh yeah. Now, they almost didn't have pizza, but that's another story. We'll have that before we get started.
All right. We got 15. I'll put us on a brief hold.
All right.
The FCA Moment of the Week.
And with us today, we've had him for 3 weeks in a row. He's becoming a regular. He's really quite fantastic. He's got a beautiful beard. His name, Carter Duncan. How are you?
Man, I am awesome. So glad y'all let me come back after 2 weeks in a row.
Right?
A little bit of a streak now, which is good.
You're on a good streak. And I'd like to say, I think this is at least 2 out of the 3 times you've been in your car. This is nice.
Yeah, I'm outside of a Walmart in the parking lot right now to buy some supplies to bring a softball team some dinner tonight.
Love it. So, Carter, you are everything FCA. So tell us what is going on in the wonderful world of Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Man, I'm almost, I can't be there yet because there's still a lot of school year left, but I'm almost in full-blown summer mode, getting ready for this next coming up week because we are about, I reckon, today's Wednesday, so about 10 days away from our intern interest meeting, which is going to be huge. I love the internship. It's my favorite part of what we do at FCA. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that or not, but it really is. I love the summer internship, getting to spend a whole summer discipling and working and serving with high school students and college students that want to be part of summer with FCA, working our camps and getting to know the Lord more. So that's very, very, very exciting. NorthAlabamaFCA.org. If you know someone who needs to intern with FCA, make sure to get the word out to them, so they can get the word out to us and we can get them down and get them the information they need. And we can start moving forward with that.
What age usually interns with you guys?
Yeah, so ages, typically we have rising juniors and rising seniors in high school. This year we have high school graduates that are going to intern with us that are going into their summer or their summer before college.
Yeah.
And then we have our summer staff is full. So if you want to do summer staff, that's already filled up. That's typically more the college age students that come back and help lead the interns during the summer. We might have a few intern that are just finished their freshman year of college. That's allowed. You can do that. That's typically, don't see a whole lot of those, but we may have 1 or 2 of those based on people I've talked to this year.
Love it. What else is going on? You got intern interest meeting. Give us one more thing.
Man, huddles are ramping up right now for the year. We got huddles that didn't meet in the fall, and they're meeting in the spring now. So they're still getting some huddles in before the end of the year. So if there's not a huddle at the school that you're at or that you care about, and you think, man, it's too late in the year, it's not. That's a lie from the devil. It's never too late to get started on your campus and get things going for the year. I'm meeting with some students this afternoon to plan a huddle for a school that didn't have one last semester, and they're going to have one this semester. It's going to be great, and so it's rocking and rolling. Still plenty of time to get a few huddles in before the end of the year and get the gospel into the schools, get the gospel onto the teams, into the hallways. It's going to a really strong way to finish the year out.
Love it. And huddles, to me, they're small groups in the schools, and so, man, you guys are making such a significant difference. Me and you, Carter, we've gotten to work together lately, but what a cool difference Fellowship of Christian Athletes makes in each school. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, man, and I hope it goes good, and I hope they leave you a little slice of pizza at least. I feel bad for you. I want to make sure you're okay.
Hey, pizza's one of the perks of the job,
That's right. Take care of Carter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We can hashtag that or something.
Probably. Let's put a pin in that one. We can come back to it.
Yeah. But anyway, that's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Tell them your website real quick, and we're going to go.
NorthAlabamaFCA.org.
NorthAlabamaFCA.org. Good to talk to you, Carter.
Yes, sir. Always good to talk to you too, Seth.
You made the rain, so when it falls.
It's my favorite part when he's trying to turn the video off.
Are we still live or on?
Yeah, you're always live.
Okay,
So
all right.
you're not live on the radio. You're now live on the. Well, I guess it'd be good to show you. I'm about to ask Steven if he'll make us laugh. And so, anyway, Steven, can you pull us up some funny stuff?
Sure, I got some stuff here.
He's good at this. So
Yeah. So, you've seen, like, houseplants. They're there. I mean, they bring you some joy. Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you get to care for them. You get to watch them grow. I really like succulents. Those are a lot of fun.
Wow.
But who doesn't like a good cactus?
Right.
I mean, because there's a
right.
little danger there, you know? If
Yeah,
you touch it,
yeah.
you're going to feel it.
It could hurt.
What do they do in their spare time? When you're not looking at the cactus, what is it doing? What is it thinking?
I don't think I've ever asked that question.
Yeah? Well, I'm glad that you haven't because I get to blow your mind today.
Oh, thank God.
Here, I think you're going to enjoy this. I think every guy on this planet is going to enjoy this. This is what cacti do when they're just goofing off.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Who knew? Wow.
You went a little too hard on that last one.
Wow. Is this Super Bowl commercial?
It should be, right?
Right.
It's
Those,
SAE out of Germany. They do some video effects stuff out there. I think they did a pretty good job with that.
they did great.
Yeah.
You know, I saw one and it inspired me because it's one of my favorite movie series ever, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish I would have done this with my son. I love the Rocky series.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, Phillip, I don't know how it was for you, but when I was a kid, I would watch Rocky, and I would get up and ready to go at life, out the window, and then for about 5 minutes. But this kid, this is how I should have trained my son. Best video I've ever seen right here. This kid, he's what, a whole one? You need to start
Dang, I'm
this right there.
slacking.
Look
I'm
at him.
slacking.
Look at him. Wait, he's doing the exercises. He gets
Wow.
it right. Hitting the metal.
Wow, I'm behind.
You ever seen the Rocky series?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is what I needed to do with my sons. He's like a whole one. He looks like it, but
Jeez.
he's getting it.
Wow.
Look, hey, yo, Adrian. I heard you do that, Steven. Yo, Adrian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
week on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, by the way. But yeah, look at this kid.
He's got it down.
I mean, legend. Man, myth, legend. There they are. These guys. Hey, Steven's going to tell you. We got some food in there for you guys.
We're taking him to the multipurpose
Yeah.
room, Jameson.
Good.
We got food over there for him.
Love
I'll come get you when it's time. All right, guys?
That's a big dude right there. He makes me feel small.
Yeah.
Anyway, this dude, he never backs off.
No.
That's
Gosh.
beautiful.
I got a 4-month-old. I might need to
Come on,
get the ball
man.
rolling here.
This is your
Jeez.
chance.
It is.
I mean-
It is. Jeez.
That's right. I mean, you got to tell me how fishing is. You ever, what kind of songs come up in your head when because it's quiet out there. I know it is
Mm-hmm.
at some point. So what runs through your head during that moment?
So to be honest with you, there's so much going through my head fishing. Is a lot of stressful situational when you're a tournament fisherman, right? So tournament fishing is a little bit different, right?
Right.
There's 8 hours, things got to go. So my head, I don't have a lot of time, but I do actually. What calms me down a lot of times, I'll put my earpiece in and I'll listen to Christian music when I'm fishing because it actually calms me down because my head's going too fast sometimes.
Right.
So. And I just change it up. I listen to everything. Worship music. It could be like a Christian country rap. Or it could be anything. And just as long as it's
You
Christian.
say Christian country rap.
Yeah, they have them. There's a couple.
Steven, I want you to play some Christian country rap for me.
Right?
I need to experience.
I have a couple
this.
artists I follow that they're really cool. It's like a nice little blend of it's Christian, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got the twang. So there's like one group called Whosoever South. And then there's another Lathan Warlock or something like that is his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I
Christian country
rap. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I like that.
Yeah, kind of like calms you down but pumps you up. It keeps it just keeps my mind from I think rolling too much about the stressful day or.
So what's it like being a tournament fisher?
It's amazing. I get to travel all over the country. There's different levels in tournament fishing from the national level where I go all the way, from New York to Florida to Texas, everywhere in between. Or there's the more regional levels where guys will do it just in the, an hour radius from their home, or they'll just be a local to one lake. I love it. I love the travel. I love the competition. I love the obstacles, and it's a giant puzzle. Bass fishing is so complex because there's so many variables that come into it, weather, temperatures of water, clarity of water, every lake you're at. There's so much going on, and you're competing against a living creature along with competing against the people that you're competing against. So there's a lot that goes into it to try to keep it short, but it's a lot of mental. There's no coach. There's no teammates. Some of the smaller tournaments, you have a team partner, one guy, right?
Right.
But like when you're on the national level, you're by yourself. So you are your coach. There's nobody to sound anything off of but your own self, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's unique about bass fishing too, is it's all on you. You're out there on the water for 8 hours, 10 hours by yourself, and there's nobody to fall back on. It's just all you. And I love that part of the sport. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the best you've ever done?
I won, for those of you guys that understand or know bass fishing, I won Angler of the Year, which means, so it's like winning like a points race, and any other thing. I won that last year on the West Coast in the biggest circuit they have out West. And then I've won 3 big Pro-Ams. So there's different styles of tournaments. The Pro-Ams are generally the bigger ones. So I've won 3 of those back home in California. And then this last year, 2022, was my rookie season on the national tour out here. I made the championship, which means you're in the top 50 there's 160 guys that fish through the year. They take the top 50 to the championship. I did that, and so that was huge, especially my rookie year. Never fished east of Nevada until 12 months ago. So that was
wow.
That was for me. That was a big accomplishment.
Now you're Alabama.
Now I'm Alabama, ready to go.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, yeah, Roll Tide, baby, Roll Tide.
So we're about to go into clutch, and so
2:45.
2:45. Well, good. I get to keep hearing about this. So that's what I wanted to hear about. But anyway, so you are now in Guntersville. How is it different than California?
Whew. What's not different?
Right.
Everything from, I lived in a big city in California, so I lived in the Bay Area, 45 minutes outside of San Francisco. So much smaller. Everything's green here. Essentially we kind of live like in a forest, on the lake, which is amazing compared to where I was from. Millions of people, homes just everywhere, buildings everywhere. People are amazing out here. The culture is awesome. I feel much safer, love it. And then, the fishing is, again, like you stated earlier, the West Coast, there's a lot of really cool stuff that comes out of the West in bass fishing, but it's really like the redheaded stepchild. It is looked at a lot differently.
Right.
Although a lot of the greatest anglers come from the West.
Yeah.
And then being back here, though, it feels like I'm in Yankee Stadium. So for me, it's almost like a kid playing baseball in the Dominican Republic. He makes the MLB. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm back here and I'm on that tour. It's
right.
I didn't grow up in this culture here where bass fishing is everything. Bass fishing is like, it's not as big as college football, but compared to where I'm from,
it's a big deal.
Oh, it's huge out here. So I love it. I love the culture. I love the competition. I love everything. Guntersville, amazing place to live. Amazing place to live. Everybody that's come from California, that my friends and family, they're like, I want to buy a home here. And they're all wanting to move here. So I'm glad we made the move.
Look at this. Phillip he's getting people to move here. I like that.
Yeah, we've got a few. We actually have already got a few. My in-laws moved here. My best friend moved here, and we're working on a few others. So
yeah. I met some of them.
Yeah,
they're really
you met
cool.
all. Yeah.
But anyway, that's awesome, man. And what are you most looking forward to? How long do we got, Steven? I don't want to.
1 minute.
1 minute. What are you most looking forward to this year?
Just in fishing.
Yeah, I'm fishing.
The tour. I got my goals now this year are not. Last year they were to prove to myself that I could compete back here. This year they're to make the Bass Pro Tour, which is the highest circuit in the country, the top 80 guys in the country.
Yeah.
So working on that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We start in 10 days. I take off in first tournaments in Florida, so really excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Close to the ocean?
Really close. It's Lake Okeechobee, so it's all the way down there, like almost at the very tip of Florida, at the end.
Nice.
So, yeah.
It's a long drive.
It's like 13 hours, yeah. But I like driving.
Yeah, you told me, New York? You drove to New York?
19 hours I did in one day. Upstate New York all the way to Canada, yeah.
That's a lot. Here we go.
.5 JFM is WJIA Guntersville. Streaming online at 885jfm.com. The clutch moment.
Yeah, and today, and I think I got the perfect guy to talk to, I'm going to talk about taking risk. And so, the first thing I want to ask you, I'm really interested in this question because you look like a guy that likes to have fun.
I do.
And so,
yeah.
and I've known you for a little while. So, what is the riskiest thing that you've ever done?
I thought about that for a while. I think, honestly, is really just moving across the country with my wife and kids, away from everything I knew, all my family, all my friends, had no clue what I was going to, were we going to make friends? How was life going to be here?
Yeah.
That was a huge risk,
Yeah.
So it's, I think out of everything in my life, because no one in my family's ever really moved ever away from like a 50-mile radius for as long, so I got a huge family, like 30-something cousins, uncles, aunts, 9 uncles and aunts, and so everybody for the most part is there. So for me to make that move was, in certain ways, obviously it didn't risk my life, but the mental state, family, all that.
Right. Risk. I think if I'm going to talk about risk, I need to define it first. And so risk is a situation involving exposure to danger, or to expose someone or something valued to danger, harm, or loss. And in 2 Corinthians 5:7, Paul says about taking risk, he says, for we live by faith, not by sight. That's what the NIV says, or the New Living, for we live by believing and seeing. And so he talks on a deeper level about this in the first letter to the Corinthian church in 1 Corinthians 13:11-12, when he says, when I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child, but when I grew up, I put away childish things. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know is partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as God now knows me completely. See, faith is stepping forward. Even the things that you don't see as the step in front of you. And I've seen, it's been a while, but I've seen movies and stuff where they were like on a treasure hunt. And there's this big gap, right? And they have to step forward in what they can't see, only to find out that there was a bridge or there was a staircase or something like that. And faith is a lot like that. And Hebrews defines it in Hebrews 11:1. It says, faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It's the evidence of the things that we cannot see. So I want to talk about things about taking risks. And the first thing I want to say is risk is a necessary component of progress. I really believe that. So let me ask you this, Phillip. How is taking risk necessary for growth?
Yeah, and I want to say, if I got 10 seconds, I think when you're a believer, risk is more in the flesh, because when we moved across country, when the Holy Spirit led my wife and I to do it, it wasn't really risk. To the flesh, it may look like risk, but when you know you're being obedient to God, it really is not risk at all. You don't know how it's going to look, but I never really worried too much because I know God ordained it. If God didn't ordain it, then that would be probably not good. But anyway, I'm sorry, one more time, your question.
No, it's okay. No, you answered that with that.
Okay.
But the question is, how is taking risk necessary for growth?
Because you break your comfort zone, I think, and I think a lot of times you got to learn to break, to get out of your comfort zone to grow. Probably in almost anything in life, sports, life, anything, you got to be able to break out of that comfort zone, step out in faith.
That's awesome. Secondly, when we take risk, we become dependent on the Holy Spirit and not ourselves, and I think that's really good. So why is it good to not be dependent on yourself all the time?
Because if we're a believer, man, we got to learn to be dependent upon God, and that means taking those steps based on what He calls us to do, based on faith, just like Peter when he, got out of the ship and walked on water, right? So I think that we have to do that. That is part of being a believer, is having faith, and like you already read, faith is doing things that you can't see.
Right.
But if God calls you to do it, then He will not let you down, even if you don't see the path in front of you.
Right. And that's always good because sometimes God asks us to do scary things.
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes to my third and last point. What friends or family suffer because you won't take a risk? So that's the point. So how do our family and friends suffer when we don't take risks?
I think the blessings that you might miss out on because God's asking you to step out, and if you don't, that affects not just you, that affects your spouse, your kids, everybody. It could affect you financially. It could affect you in so many ways. When God calls to step out in faith and you don't do it, it does put more than just you, in danger, for sure.
Yeah.
Spiritually, mentally, financially, physically, all across the board.
And I think this, Phillip, I think so often, when we sin or when we go through it, not even when we sin, but when we go through spiritual situations, so often we think it only affects us, when in turn it affects everything around us and everybody around us. Not talking about Jesus to our friends. That could be detrimental to their salvation.
Absolutely.
That could be eternal death for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal to take that risk not to talk to them. And so I want to challenge you out there today to take the risk to make a difference for God, to step out in faith. The faith shows the reality of what we hope for. It's the evidence of the things we can't see. You may not see the end result, but God does. I want to pray for you. God, we come to you right now, and I pray for our listener, God, right in this moment, God, that you would lift them up and you would touch them. God, that you would give them faith and courage and help them to move forward to do what only you can do through them. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Stephen, tell me you have some Rockstar.
Yeah, I do.
I want to introduce my friend Phillip to Rockstar.
All right.
And the gift that is Rockstar.
I think this is a good way to do it right here. Let me
right.
pull this up real quick. All right, so Phillip, if you've never heard of Rockstar, he's over on TikTok. He does a lot of voiceovers for animals.
Okay.
He kind of tells you what might be going through that dog or that cat or that gerbil's
Hilarious.
head. So, he makes up some really good videos. Here's one that I really liked. I thought I'd share today, so take a look at this. Oh, hold on. Wrong one. So close to Rocky.
Mama, come here, brother. Ate all the cookies. Look, come here. Look at him. Look.
Why you snitching?
He ate all the cookies, Mama. Punish him. Look.
That's funny.
Why you snitching?
Yeah.
That's
So-
funny.
That was beautiful.
We've got two guys. One is Rockstar. The other one is Kev. And Kev does a really good job, too. Now, he does this thing called skippity paps. And that's what happens when a
Yes.
cat slaps you. That's
Yes.
called a skippity pap.
They do it.
Well, yeah. So there was a lot going on this week with Kev. And he doesn't just do the cats. He does some monkeys every now and then. And so here, take a look at this one.
Ma'am, let me get the salt drink you got in your bag over there, the Mountain Dew, ma'am. Yeah, the Mountain Dew. Let me get the Mountain Dew you got in your bag there. Yeah, the Mountain Dew, ma'am. Yeah, the Mountain Dew. Yes, the Mountain Dew. Don't stop acting like you don't know. Yes, the Mountain Dew. I said that like 5 times. Bring that over here, man. I want to see Tony Baker live at the comedy show. They don't really sell Mountain Dews at comedy clubs. I want to get my caffeine fix. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Pernell, get your little square-headed butt out of here, man. You know how to reap the benefits every time I got something going. Mountain Dew, man. I gotta get in on that. Oh, man, let me get the banana in there as well. Yeah, just let me get the banana in there. The banana, man. Why you always acting brand new? Yes, the banana, man. There you go. Yes. Yep, there it is. Throw it in there. Throw it over the top. They never sell bananas at comedy clubs, man. Just throw it over the top. Yes, please. Thank you.
That's nice. That's nice. I enjoyed that. That was great, Joy.
Yeah. They do good work.
Rockstar's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best there is, I think. But then that was hilarious. That was so good, Steven.
Yeah.
So, I was pulling up. I had something else.
Kev, though, talking about cats, he did this one. And there are no skippity paps involved here, but it's still good.
Don't get your musty digits off my back. Did you forget who I am? How dare you place them upon me?
That's so good. That's so good. Your musty digits.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah. I'm missing one video.
Phillip, how long do you hope to be fishing?
Man, fishing is definitely not something that it's not like football where once you're in your 30s, late 30s, you're done. So, I mean, as long as God allows me to fish, he gave me a passion. I love it, man. I've been fishing since I was like 3. So if I could fish till the day I die, I'll take it. There's guys that are in their 80s that are still tournament fishing. So got to keep your health up and stay in shape and, have good stamina. But, yeah.
That's cool stuff. So I heard you're getting ready to do some podcast stuff. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
So it's something God put on my heart about 4 or 5 months ago called Christian Anglers Media.
Cool.
I've done a lot of podcasts for a lot of different fishing podcasts, people that have me on. And I love to talk bass fishing. I love to talk in general. Mm-hmm. And obviously, most importantly, I love to share my faith and use the platform of bass fishing to spread the gospel, whether it's people in my boat, whether it's the media I get, TV coverage, live coverage. And so podcasting is just another way for me to share and talk and have people on. And then, the one thing that I've seen in all the years is a lot of times we have a co-angler on a boat or like a referee, they call him a marshal. Mm-hmm. And I generally get into really deep conversations with everybody on my boat. And what I've come to find out is 99% of everybody that I've come across, when you really get to talk to them and you get below, past just who they are in life, they're going through some stuff, especially in these times. Yeah. And it blows my mind away every single time. I'm just shocked what the conversations that I have on my boat with people and what they're going through. And so just seeing that need, that there's so many people out there that you would never know, everyday people that might be your closest friends, family, people you go to even church with, that you don't know what they're going through, and they're really struggling. So if I'm able to not, bring people together using the platform of fishing and talk some really fun, cool, strategic, all that stuff, fishing stuff, but then include the gospel and giving hope to people and giving people a place to turn. Especially suicide is out of control these days. It's been very close and personal to me, and just seeing so many people go that way because nobody noticed or knew what they were going through. Or so hopefully I can give that avenue to for people to reach out and whatnot.
Very cool. Now, is it something you've already gotten off the ground or something you're working on?
No, we're going to be shooting our first episode here very soon, like probably in the next couple weeks.
Cool.
So, yeah, we've been working on the logo and the groundwork of it and how I want it to be structured and a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, first episode will probably be recorded very shortly here. Nice. So, yeah.
Very good, man. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Phillip's a rock star.
Yeah, I imagine you've heard a little bit. I don't know what division it was in fishing, but back a few months ago, there were a couple of guys, and they ended up putting weights in the bellies of some fish. Did you hear about that?
Oh, who didn't?
I didn't. I want to hear about this.
What was that all about, man?
Yeah, so that was in muskie fishing a little bit. It's still tournament fishing. It was fishing, but a different species of fish, different kind of organization. But regardless, these guys were cheating, and my understanding is they won like $400,000 over the course of like 2 years.
Wow.
And they were catching these fish because in most fishing competitions, it's by your weight, right? Your biggest. So like in bass fishing, it's your biggest 5 fish per day. And anyway, in muskie fishing, I think it's the same or very similar, but they were putting weights in the fish's stomach after they'd catch them to increase the weight, right?
Yeah.
And so, they might caught a 4-pounder. Well, now it weighs 5.5 pounds, and you do that on every fish. Well, you might have added 5, 6, 7 pounds to your overall, what we call bag or your overall weight. And so they got busted, which is good. They need to get busted. I hope they got the book thrown at them because people, you don't want to incentivize if nothing happens. So I don't know what ended up happening. I know they got busted, but I didn't follow, I don't follow up. It's a different organization, different deal. But yeah, it went pretty viral, and it's sad. I think in any sport, people are always trying to find ways to, it happens in pro sports all the time. Right. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is good that they get caught and hopefully, you don't see any more of that. But that's what happened. Yeah, they won a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay, since bass fishing is a sport, let's talk about another sport, basketball. Do you enjoy it at all?
Come on, somebody.
I love basketball. I haven't watched it my whole life. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was a kind of a bandwagon Warriors fan the last like 7-8 years. Although I haven't watched really much sports at all in the last like 2 years. But yeah, I did kind of. I grew up baseball, football.
Yeah.
And then when Steph, Clay, what was it, 7, 8, 9 years ago, whenever they started really ramping it up, I wanted to follow along, and it was pretty cool to watch. So I watched quite a bit of Warriors basketball for like 3 or 4 or 5 years there, but I don't watch as much on them anymore.
Gotcha. So what's your take on LeBron James? Do you think maybe he's at the same level as Jordan, or are we going like way down?
So I
want you to be honest.
Yeah.
Now.
So again, I'm not the deepest when it comes to basketball statistics,
right.
What I will say is he lost a lot of championships. He made it to a lot, right? But so the argument is, how good of a closer is he in the big moments where Jordan was 6 for 6 in rings, and if he didn't leave, who knows? But so it's and here's the other thing too. You got to be careful to compare direct stats because they were also playing in different time zones when things were different. But when it comes to overall championships, I mean, LeBron. What has LeBron won? I don't want to speak wrong, but I think he's lost more than he's won, right?
Yeah.
He's won 2 or 3
in
right,
the finals.
Steven?
I think he's won 3 or 4.
Okay.
It's always fun to get this opinion because it's so split. Half the people are like, no, LeBron James is the best that's ever played, and some people are like, no, Jordan's the GOAT.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: the longer you stay in a sport, I imagine it wears you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it is a sport, right? And when your body's taking that taxing energy every single day.
I would see
and,
that.
This thing with LeBron, I thought it was pretty funny. I happened upon this clip of him and a opposing player. And this little comment was amazing. Talk about feeling old.
Hey, you played against my dad. Your first NBA game ever. Really. Sacramento. You feel old, don't you?
You
That's
feel old
funny.
now, don't you?
That was funny.
That is.
He took it too. I got to give it to him.
That's funny.
So, hey man, hey,
That's great.
hey, you played against my dad.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That is really funny.
that's cool stuff.
Who is his dad?
You have to ask the questions. I
I
know. Answers to.
I don't know the answer either.
It's like every week you
I'm
ask.
sorry. Yeah.
It's like, dude,
I'm so
I
sorry.
didn't do a deep dive research on the dude's dad.
You're such a smart guy.
Wow.
But yeah, I wasn't hating.
I know.
Anyway, no. So I watched a documentary where they talked about Michael Jordan, all the legends he played, Shaquille O'Neal and all them, and they were saying, given the atmosphere that Michael Jordan would play with, they were talking about a rule, fouling rule, whatever. They said they believe Michael Jordan would put up 50, 60 points a game now because of what he wouldn't have to do.
For sure. Because rules change.
Yeah.
Forget that too. Yeah.
They said he'd be putting up 50, 60 points a game with the new rules.
Mm.
And so, anyway, yeah, I think that's it. And me and you grew up in the same era.
Mm-hmm.
I loved watching Michael Jordan.
I wish I was not watching basketball when Jordan was in his prime.
They had WGN is when it introduced, and the Chicago Bull games would come on, and I would watch them as a 5th and 6th grade kid. That's what was important. Michael Jordan and basketball here. I loved watching. Jordan just did ridiculous stuff. He just things that didn't even look human.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I really do wish. That's why I actually watched when the Warriors came on because I didn't want to miss what Steph Curry was doing, and I already had missed Jordan. So
here they are. Man, you are one big dude, just like me. How tall are you?
6'2",
I like the way he said that. Hey, y'all go ahead and put these on. Get as close to microphones as you can. I'm excited. By the way, this is Phillip Dutra.
What's going on, guys?
And so
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
He's a professional fisherman. You guys?
Amateur fishing, trying to be professional.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
So
well, you guys are way ahead of where I was. We didn't have high school fishing when I was growing up. So.
But anything you'd like to ask him?
Man, how'd you get to being a pro?
Man, how long do I have to answer this question?
We got 9 minutes.
Okay.
Until we go on.
Okay. So I was born and raised on the California Delta. My grandpa had a houseboat. So every Friday after school, my grandparents would pick my brother and I up, and we go to the California Delta every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 9 months a year, up until my grandpa just passed away this last year. But up until I got my first job, so we were fishing out of it. And he had a little raft. We had no clue what we were doing. We used to watch Bill Dance, Jimmy Houston. My dad got us into fishing in general, like striper fishing, halibut fishing, trout fishing, bluegill fishing. And then as kids, we used to just walk the bank around the house, the lakes near us, and got float tubes. Never had a mentor, didn't anything like that. And then I got a job at a bait shop. I worked there for about a year, and I used to go into the local tackle shop all the time. And the owner of the tackle shop asked me if I wanted to have it, if I'd want to work there, which was one of the greatest decisions I ever made, because that's what introduced me to tournament bass fishing and understanding all of it and really getting into it more than just some kid on the bank just throwing a Cinco, having no clue what I was doing. And so back then, especially, it's a little different now because we got Tackle Warehouse, everything's online. But back then, the tackle shop was like the barber shop. It was like everybody went to the tackle shop, hung out for hours. We'd have pizza and all the stuff. So that's what got me into tournament fishing. I tournament bass fished on the Delta for about 15 years exclusively. Fished it like 200, 250 days a year up until a year ago. And I fished everything on the Delta, every team tournament, Pro-Am that came our way, whatever. And then and I had an old 92 Ranger. Started off in an aluminum boat, 25 horse Johnson, and ice chest it was my live well. Took second in our first little tournament on that, and then moved up to a 92 Ranger, old beat up boat. Had that forever. And then 3 years ago, I got a Skeeter. Never in a million years. I always tell people I'm living more of a fantasy than I am a dream, because a dream usually people pursue, like, I want to be a professional bass fisherman, so I'm going to do these steps. For me, living in California, that was my family, my life, everything was out there, and I just never thought it was even an option. I used to say, man, how cool it would be to live a tournament bass fisherman, life, traveling around, seeing all these new lakes, but never in a million years. Then 3 years ago, I got a new boat, and that's when I started fishing off just the Delta. I started fishing, you guys probably heard of Clear Lake, some of the bigger lakes back home, not just the Delta, so Clear Lake, Shasta, Havasu, which are some of the lakes back home. And I did really well, surprisingly for myself. I was top 10ing at all these other lakes, not just the Delta. And then I won Angler of the Year in the Toyota Series Western in 2021. And God it was really prayer that God told us we were coming out here regardless. But and so I won Angler of the Year, I which meant I had a berth in the Tackle Warehouse Tour. Last year was my rookie year, and did fairly well. I ended up in the championship, so that was top 50 out of the 160 guys or whatever, and I'm on year 2. So that's why I always say, like, a couple of years ago, and my goal was I just wanted to be the best fisherman on the West Coast. That was like my goal. Like, I'm going to live here in California for the rest of my life, so I'll just want to be the best on the West. That was what I was pursuing, and then that just very quickly, the pages turned, and then all of a sudden I'm in Alabama on the national tour and had success last year, and here we are this year. So, yeah, it's more, like I said, it's a fantasy, because usually fantasies are unrealistic. A dream is something most people pursue. It was more than a dream, and God allowed it to be reality, and now we're living it, and it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been here in Alabama?
Moved here just over a year ago. So, December last year we moved here, and I never made a cast east of Nevada, basically California, until last year. I came out to Pickwick, I think, in November, so like 14 months ago. So I'd never seen a lake out here, never made a cast on any lake out here ever. And so last year for me was proving to myself, can I compete on this side of the country? Never seen a lake out here, competing against, the Skeet Reeses and the Michael Neals and those guys. And, and it went really well. So that was a huge confidence booster for me. So now I'm really excited this year. I had a lot of nerves last year, but it's been great. Been great.
Love Gunnersville.
It's cool. It's cool. The Delta's, if you ever get a chance, man, I mean, the Delta's a tricky place, but it's a special place, man. The Delta, especially what it used to be, but I do miss it like a lot. But there's no fishery like the Delta. But it was really cool getting to see all the places. Like last year, going up to Vermont to Lake Champlain was awesome. Harris Chain down in Florida was really cool. All the lakes are really cool, but certain ones are really, really cool. So it's been a lot of fun, man. I've been just taking in every moment, man. It's been awesome out here, so it's fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Montevallo College fishing.
Yeah.
Top of the nation, right?
Yeah.
My sister is dating a boy from DAR. He fished her last year.
What's his name?
Cole Edwards.
Okay.
And
isn't it a guy named Briggs? Is he from Montevallo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a friend of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. And anyway, so he's fishing with the boy. He's out from California as well. He came in from California to Montebello to fish on a scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you say Montevello's number one?
They're up there, top three.
That's what I thought. I thought he had told me that.
Yeah, them and Auburn are kind of neck and neck.
And that's high school we're talking about, right? Or college.
That's
I mean, college.
Yes,
College. Yeah,
yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. They're college.
Yeah.
They're college.
Yeah. So I'm good friends with Justin Lucas, and he's from back where I am. And I remember when when they started college fishing, and he was the announcer of it, and it was just getting going. That was right after my time, so they didn't have college fishing or high school. Now they got high school, college. They got coaches. It's crazy, which is good. I'm glad. It's awesome for the sport that it's growing like that. So.
Yeah, I have a bunch of relatives tell me, like, man, back in my day, I wish they had high school fishing.
Yeah, yeah. College, high school, but yeah, so that's really cool that you guys have that. And how old are you guys?
I'm 16.
I'm 14.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Very cool.
Been fishing since 7th grade.
Yeah. What's your biggest bass?
6 pounds.
Okay, how about you?
5'5".
Okay. Largemouth, I'm assuming both?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gunnersville?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Red Senko. Caught it in springtime.
Okay. What's your favorite technique?
Texas rigging it.
Okay.
Chatterbait.
Chatterbait. Okay. I'm going to have to get you guys on some big swim baits, some California style, big swim baits, punching, frogging.
Punching. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to punch. That's what I do. Like, I mean, I do everything, but I love to punch. Yeah. So I don't go anywhere.
Well, I brought you on because I have no idea what
he's
you're talking about.
We are speaking a foreign language right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I knew you. Y'all know what he's saying.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. That's cool. Well, yeah. Do you guys fish a lot of other lakes around here? Or?
Yes, sir. Bunch in Alabama. I haven't fished nothing outside Alabama.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't either. Well, outside of California until last year, but it is cool. There's a lot of really cool fisheries, that you get to go see. I think Harris Chain in Florida and Lake Champlain were probably the two coolest ones I've seen so far. But I've only seen like 9-10 lakes out here, in the last year or so. I'm excited this whole year. I go to Okeechobee. I was just at Okeechobee practicing 2 weeks ago, but it's cool going to all these lakes that at least I watched as a kid on TV. Going back 20-something years ago. So it's cool now getting to go fish these places. So it's a little sad. Not a lot. It seems like the common theme with most fisheries is they're not as good as they used to be because all the spraying in the last 10 years all over really all over the country. The grass spraying is just not good for the ecosystem. But
we had a overpopulation of eelgrass here in Gunnersville.
That's what I said. I know. I heard everybody told me how much hydrilla and milfoil there was out here 5 years ago, and then the last 5 years it's all eelgrass now. And
love-hate with it.
I don't like it. I mean, I'll fish it, but it's not. You can't punch it. So I want some hydrilla. Give me some hydrilla, milfoil, or something. But from what I hear, I don't know because I only fished Gunnersville for a year. But I guess there was more hydrilla this year than there has been, I guess, in the last couple years. So which is a good thing. So, but yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna hit radio here in about 20 seconds. I'll put us on a brief hold. We'll come right up.
The Varsity Athlete Interview.
I'm so excited to have the DAR Patriots freshman Kaden Randles and junior Landon Black. They're here representing the DAR fish team. I wanted them to meet my friend Phillip, which they're already talking. Man, me and Steven, we're sitting here like, what's happening? But anyway, we're so glad you guys are here, and we want to talk to you about your sport. One of the reasons I brought Phillip here to talk to you. But not only that, hey, tell us how long you've been involved in fishing and what got you inspired to do it. So,
I've been fishing, man, since I was little. Pond fishing, mostly.
Yeah.
Grandparents, uncles, family members out fishing, and that's just something my dad enjoyed doing. He was growing up, but he never had a boat or nothing, so he never went on the lakes much,
Yeah.
So he took me pond fishing when I was little, and, man, I just loved it. My dad likes it, but I love it. Yeah. And so I really got into it, and I was like, man, I like doing this. And when I heard that, we had a fishing team, my dad, we all got signed up for it in 7th grade, and, 7th and 8th grade was kind of slow, didn't get to fish a whole lot because of the upperclassmen. We had like 30-something kids on the team at one time. We had a bunch of fishermen. So, but here recently, man, us upperclassmen have been getting to fish a lot, and I love it, man. We're doing real good.
Talk to me. How long you been doing this?
I've been doing it since I was mainly little. My dad, he fishes a lot, and that's who inspires me to do this. He's my boat captain now in high school, and he got me into it since I was a little baby. I mean, I can remember just fishing with him, and it was just so fun.
All right. Okay, now you understand this, but I don't. Explain what a boat captain is.
They'll like, as we're in high school, we're not able to drive around the boat by ourselves. So the boat captain, they will drive us around and just basically pick out where we want to fish, and then we'll tell them, and they'll drive us there. But that's about mainly all they can do on the boat for us. We have to run the trolling motor in town and do everything else.
Nice. So tell me about your coach. Tell me about your coach.
Brandon Edwards.
Yeah.
He kind of runs the shift, you know. He ain't a boat captain, is he? Or does he? I think he does. He has a son in middle school.
Right.
So he helps coach, be his boat captain. But coaching wise, he holds all the meeting together. He organizes everything, gets all our tournaments set up. Man, he's been real good for us.
Wow. What do you like the most about him?
Just how he does everything. He puts everything together good. He has everything to us when we want it, and just he picks out everything the right way.
Phenomenal. Phillip, ask him any question you want to.
Yeah, so how many tournaments do you guys do? I'm not overly familiar with how high school fishing works. How many tournaments do you guys do?
Well, we do bass trails. We just got done with one as River Bend.
Okay.
And it was just fishing all the North Alabama lakes off the Tennessee River.
Okay.
And we fished about what?
I think it was 4 tournaments in that trail.
4 tournaments or so.
Okay.
And then we have the Bass High School Nation Trail.
Okay.
And that's about another 4 or 5.
Okay. Okay.
So about 10 a year.
Okay. And then how many teams do you guys have from each school that compete, or from your school?
We have how many boats? What, 3?
I think we have 3 boats, but you can put as many as you want in there as long as you got the kids and the boat captains.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
So, what's your favorite tournament?
What you mean?
I mean, favorite lake, favorite tournament, favorite place.
Lake's Gunnersville, easy.
There it is. Come on.
All right, so tell me why Gunnersville?
Man, it's just a home lake. We've been fishing there all of our lives, and we're super familiar with it. And contrary to everybody says I hate the eelgrass, I like the eelgrass. I like to think that all the big fish are in there.
Yeah.
And with me using a worm, whatever, man, I can get down that grass and reel out the swamp donkey.
I will say, moving here from California a year ago, out of all the lakes in the area, Gunnersville obviously has the most amount of vegetation, which I love. I'm from the California Delta. That's what we do, is fish vegetation. So, yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of vegetation, a lot of water to fish. It spreads out a little bit, which I like.
Oh yeah.
So, what's your favorite way to fish?
I like fishing shallow.
Shallow?
Fishing off banks and ledges.
Okay. Oh, you like the ledge deal?
Shallow for me too.
Shallow. Yeah, so I've lived here for a year, and I have not done the ledge deal yet. Back in California, we don't do that. So we fish deep, but I haven't done the whole ledge thing. I love to be up shallow, but I told myself this year I got to learn that offshore ledge post-spawn deal. But at least the nice thing here at Gunnersville is you can fish grass as an alternative, even in that time of year, which is nice. So.
Yeah. Gunnersville's not a real deep lake, though.
No, it's not. No, it's definitely not.
What's the best you've done in a tournament?
3rd place.
I think 3rd place.
And it was actually here at Gunnersville. We had like 18 pounds or something.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Now, do you 2 fish together?
Yes, sir.
You guys are the teammate? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Very cool. What's your guys' aspirations after this?
I don't think I'm going to pursue major league fishing. I'm going to keep fishing my whole life, but I think I'm going to go into aerospace engineering. Working on helicopters and military aircraft.
Okay.
Why are you underachieving over here? What do you? What do you want to do?
I'd like to keep pursuing fishing, but if that don't work for me, I'd probably like to be a game warden. I just love the outdoors. I fish, I hunt, I do everything. So that's just something that really looks like it'd be interesting to do.
Wow.
Got you. Do you guys like to? Do you guys fish for smallmouth ever, spotted bass, or just pretty much stay on the largemouth here?
Yeah, here on Gunnersville, largemouth is mainly most of the population.
For
here,
sure.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
6-pounder.
6
6-pounder here on Gunnersville. It was in the springtime. It was in like March or May.
How excited were you?
I was tickled pink. I was super excited.
I like the way you talk.
Like
your phrasing. Yeah, I like that. I really do. That wasn't an insult at all. So what's the biggest one you?
Mine's 5.5. So
5.5.
I just caught it here in Gunnersville, just fishing a Texas rig with my dad.
In a tournament or in practice?
Just practice.
Okay. It's so much fun, and when you catch them like that in a tournament, man, adrenaline's pumping. It's a lot of fun. Very cool.
Break down, because I know he does on the national circuit. You do. Explain what a tournament looks like a regular tournament that you go into.
Most of our BSSS ones, they have about 200 something boats in it.
Yeah,
close to 200 something boats. Man, in the morning times it's crowded. trying to live on these boat docks and get loaded out in the water.
Yeah.
But it's super fun. I just like to be out there in the morning time, seeing the sun break. Man, gets me ready to go fish.
Yeah.
It's super fun though.
The adrenaline on blast off, man, is
blast off. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Now when it's freezing cold and 20-something degrees outside, that'll.
So I got a question for you. How's the dynamic in the boat between you two?
Great. He usually stays at the front of the boat, mans the boat, the trolling motor, and I stay in the back. I like to be able to sidearm and flip it with my right hands off the side of the boat.
Okay.
And I like his judgment with the trolling motor.
Good. What about decision making?
We both do a pretty good job of decision making.
Guys
together.
get along?
Yes, sir.
I always said, man, team partners is like a marriage, man. You can. I fished in a couple different guys over the years and teams, and it's like a marriage, especially if you really want to compete. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, and you could get frustrated. You could get. So how do you guys prevent? Have you guys had any obstacles like when somebody suggests, hey, I want to go here, I want to do this, and have you guys have any kind of issues with that, or how do you resolve them?
Not really. I mean, we both like to kind of do the same stuff, so when we go to a lake, we kind of just see what we want to do and go on that.
That's awesome.
We get a game plan. We usually stick to it, and we both have the same style of fishing, so we like to stick to that. And I don't think we ever got in an argument, have we?
No, I don't think so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his dad's got a little tore up at us, but
Tell us about that.
Yeah,
this is the place, man.
Well, sometimes he's like, I'm not real good at running trolling motor because I don't own a boat. I don't like to get on the trolling motor and run it very often. But sometimes, he'll get him a snack or something, and I'll have to go run it. It's never right. I'm either too fast, too slow, too far to the left, too far this way. But I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
It's a learning game for sure. What so when you guys are out there fishing together, I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. Seth, question. I had a question in my head and I just drew a blank.
That happens to me all the time. You're out there in the not the ocean, the lake.
I envisioned myself out there.
Right?
And I just
he was there.
Floated away. So what kind of boat are you guys running?
It's a Ranger. I think it's a 2004 Ranger.
Okay. I started off in a 92 Ranger and ran it for a long time. Old boat, but good boat.
I see all the sponsors on your shirt. Tell us about those and how do they help y'all compete and be a better team?
They are a blessing to us, man. They help us. They sponsor us. They give us good deals. I mean, like GTO, man, they have been nothing but good to us, and they sponsor us a lot of things like Studford Land Development, a bunch of locally owned businesses around Grant and stuff. They will help us. They'll give us donate money for our jerseys. They help pay for our travel fees and stuff. And then even some local warehouses around here and stuff like GTO, they'll give us discounts on their bait, some rod and reels. They've been awesome.
Wow. Well, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So how much support is there for your fishing team at DAR? Tell us about that. Like,
everybody knows real good, but that fishing's a thing where it's not like you can bring a student section out or nothing. It's not that.
It'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
pull up to the ramp and everyone's got a whole student.
I'm gonna rent a pontoon boat to make that happen.
I got a question for you. So again, when I was in high school, we didn't have high school fishing or whatnot. So what is kind of the job of it? Could you guys have a coach or a captain, or what do you call him, coach?
Boat captain.
So do you guys have like a club at the school that you meet and there's like a coach?
Yes.
Is that?
Yeah. So that's what Brandon is. He's more of our leader, organizers thing.
Okay.
It's not really a coach teaching you how to do things. That's more the boat captain's job. That's what his dad does.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And now, do you guys do a lot of like pre-practice at home, Google Earth research, whenever you guys are going to go to a lake, or what's that look like?
Me and my dad will usually sit down and we'll look over some things, and then we get off of school on that Friday before the Saturday of that tournament, and then we'll go down to the lake and we'll put some things together and look at what we want to do and get a plan together for that next morning.
Okay. Are you allowed to practice? Like, is there certain rules of how far in advance you can practice on a certain lake, or no?
Not really.
Okay.
It's just Friday it starts official practice. So any days before that it's not official practice, but mainly it's just Friday. That's when everybody practices.
And then the tournaments are 1 day or 2 days?
State was 2 days for us, but most of the tournaments were just 1 day.
Okay, 1 day.
Where does state happen?
Last year was Eufaula. I think this year is Lake Logan Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, Eufaula was a pain for us last year. It was down south, so we never fished it. And man, it was hot. It was middle of June.
Wow.
And alligators. Alligators galore down there.
Did you fight them?
I was just down there at Lake Okeechobee last week or 2 weeks ago, and there was alligators all over the place. Kind of crazy.
It's really cool, though.
It is very cool. Yeah, it is very cool. Yeah.
So you've never gotten in a fight with an alligator, No. They didn't take your bait or your fish?
No, sir. No, they didn't. Now, I've heard of stories that they do that, but not to us, they haven't.
Wow. I didn't know they did that. I haven't been in the South long enough.
Oh, yeah.
And back in California, we have seals on the California Delta, and they'll actually do that.
Oh, really?
You know that, Seth? You might be fighting a fish, and the
No.
seal will come up and grab the fish off your line.
Wow.
Believe it or not, eat it. Yeah, crazy.
It's not fun.
No.
I had it.
Yeah. Now I got a head, and that's it.
So what is your goal, guys, for this year? What do you want to accomplish with your season?
This year, we've already qualified for state through Riverbend. We finished third in Angler of the Year points this year, so that qualified us for state. And we won out of that for getting into nationals. So our whole plan this year is to just fish hard and get into nationals.
Where's nationals?
Have they announced yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Last
they've
year
announced.
was in Kentucky.
Do they take one team per state?
No, they take multiple.
They take multiple?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys the season's over. You guys took third, you said, right? That was for the whole Angler of the Year race?
Yeah.
So
okay.
that was two different things. Because this river bend that we did on just the Tennessee River on
Got
the
it.
lakes, this was something new that they just did. A bunch of us local teams from around here in North Alabama, that's something we just put together.
Oh, okay.
But they count it towards state and nationals. The top two in Angler of the Year get to go to nationals, and then top three
went to state.
Yeah.
So can you go to nationals since you were third and not top two? Or
They
no?
said there's a chance, depending on how some of the points and rankings turn out.
Got
But
it.
most likely, just stick in the state.
If somebody double qualifies, then we'll get in. But
Okay.
it depends on how things go.
Got it.
Would you say your sport is growing, or it's gotten bigger since you've been in it, or is it?
I think as a whole, yes, it's gotten a lot bigger. A lot
Yeah.
more kids are taking interest in it. Now then, our school has gotten smaller with it because, like I said, when I was a freshman, 8th grade year, we had 30-something kids on the team.
Wow.
Well, I'll help answer that question too. Just from a little bit bigger of a time period is when I'm only 35, and there was no such thing as college or high school fishing right until I probably graduated high school, and then they just started college, and then they started high school after that. So the sport has definitely grown for the youth, which is one thing I've seen, which is really positive for the youth, is there's an avenue for outdoors in sports, which is really cool.
So awesome. So I tell you what, we're gonna take a quick music break. We'll come back with some of the fun stuff in a minute. But hey, come join us at Varsity Radio Show on Facebook Live. You can post your question there. I see 5 to 7 people there right now. Y'all go ahead and post your question, and we'll ask these guys or tell some stories we might not know, especially if you're family. Anyway, we'll see you in a minute. Y'all having a good day?
Absolutely. Get out of school early.
Good year.
Get out of school early, man. That's always a great day.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So you're a freshman, you're a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. Born and raised Alabama?
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Never left Grant.
Never left Grant.
No.
How was your char burger?
It was awesome. Can't beat a charburger.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I said. Did you like that?
I love the charburger.
it's
Yeah.
Pretty phenomenal.
Taking my kids there a couple times, quite a few times.
They're milkshakes, man.
Their
I
milkshakes.
mean, you can walk to it if you
I
don't.
walked
There's
to
a
it
problem.
today. Yeah. Yeah, I live right behind Charburger, so.
Living.
So how far is Grant from here?
No.
15 minutes.
Yeah, something about that. 15,
Okay.
20 minutes.
I'm still trying to find my way around here, but
I'm gonna have to
that's-
take you up to Grant.
I
just
know.
to-
I know.
We live on it's Grant Mountain, man. It's
Yeah.
it's really nice because you can be
Pretty.
You can drop. Oh, it's super pretty, especially by the school. They already got an overlook.
Yes. Yeah.
But you can be just about anywhere about 15 minutes.
Gotcha.
Grant has nothing to do. Everyone goes, "Oh, Grant's got nothing to do. Grant's got nothing to do." But yeah, you can be anywhere in 15 minutes and have plenty of things.
Let
to
me
do.
tell you about something that I've learned. Everywhere in the country, everybody says there's nothing to do where I live. It doesn't matter if you live in the biggest city or out in the woods. There's always something to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth.
It is, right?
That is something I hear a lot.
It doesn't matter. I lived in the big cities, and that's what they say. Yeah, there's nothing to do around here. Well, what would be something to do around somewhere? You know, it doesn't. Everywhere you hear the same.
Yeah.
So, what's your least favorite? I'm just curious. What's your guys' least favorite way to catch them, or what's something that you think you need to work on technique wise to get better at?
That's good.
Deep water.
Deep.
Well, in a way, because when we have fished deep, we've used Alabama rigs.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
his dad likes to call that. What does he call it? Something about no skill or something.
Yeah.
Because you just chunk it out there.
I hate the Alabama rig. I really do.
We fished Gunnersville this year, an Alabama rig. That's what everybody caught them on there.
Yeah.
A lot of big bags came in. They were all caught on Alabama rigs.
Yeah. What time of year? Winter, fall, deep.
I
fall?
think it was
December.
November.
Yeah.
It was December 3rd, I thought.
I think somewhere in there.
That's about
November,
right.
December.
I'm glad they don't allow us to use an Alabama rig on tour because I'm not a fan of it. So Power or finesse?
Finesse.
I'm more of power.
Okay. Reaction or slow?
Slow.
Slow.
Reaction.
Reaction. Okay. That's good. You guys compliment each other.
You have to explain.
Different styles. So it'd be like in football, like you like to throw the ball deep or you like to play West Coast, right?
Right.
You like to ground and pound with the football or do you like to throw the ball, right?
Right.
So these are different styles.
I got it.
Different ways to catch them, different styles. So some guys excel at one or the other, all whatever. So
yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Phillip's cool.
I'll tell you something that I've learned from the West that is really helped me out here is try to learn everything. I don't hear it a lot. Actually, I was doing a podcast last night, and they were asking me about it, and I was telling them, I hear mostly from other guys. They say, "Oh, you just live with your strengths and just fish that all the time." And I would tell you the opposite. I'd say whatever you're not strong at, spend a lot of time and learn it and get good with it. I love throwing 5-pound tests, spinning rod. I love throwing 65-pound, 50-pound braid, frogs punching, 12-inch swim baits, everything in between. And when you can learn it all and know when to use it, man, it could all year long on tour. I might have primarily been catching them on a reaction bait and picked up a little 6-pound test line and when nobody else is doing it in Florida and caught 2 key fish or vice versa or whatever it may be. So I would definitely tell you to try to get good at everything. Deep, shallow, slow, fast, top to bottom, big to small. It's some people say, oh, you can't be an expert at, how do they say that? You could be a jack of all trades, but an expert at none. I would say, why? That's just what somebody made up. You can be an expert at a whole lot of things if you want to be. You just got to put the time in. So, be a little advice.
That's something I hear all the time is like, all my friends and stuff and just people in general. Fishing takes no skill.
No.
I'm like, you're lying. You ain't never went fishing.
And I'll tell you one more thing, too, that I've learned. Remember, if you're doing what everybody else is doing all the time and you're looking at the same research and you're talking to the same people and you're doing the same thing, you're probably going to have similar results, which is not good, right? Want to separate yourself. So always try to take the best of what you can from what other people do, but also try to figure out what am I doing different to be elite, right? So in any sport, right, if you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to have the similar results, right? And in bass fishing or any sport, if you want to go to the top, like what you're saying, you got to figure out a way, how am I going to separate myself? Whether it's just, for me, I have this little slogan. It's SVE, which stands for strategy, versatility, execution. That's what I branded myself. That's what I try to really perfect, the strategic side of bass fishing, the mental side. And that goes so deep. And then versatility, being able to do everything across the board, right? And then execution. How do I lose less fish than everybody else, right? And I'm not saying I do it in every technique, but those are things that I'm always trying to perfect to separate myself from everybody else. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be the next Tom Brady. Everybody wants to be the next Michael Jordan. Everybody wants to be the next Jacob Wheeler. Bass fishing.
Yeah.
But
I like the way that he looked at me like you.
I knew you know who Jacob Wheeler was.
I know who Phillip is.
Hopefully, I'll be there in a few years. Yeah. But anyway, he's like the greatest right now. But anyway, you got to separate yourself.
Phillip's gonna be the GOAT.
And the mental side of fishing, you got to stay locked in.
I'll tell you what helps, honestly. Being a believer helps me tremendously in the mental side of the game.
We got 10 seconds. Just want y'all to know. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so... We are back with the DAR fishing team. We're having a great time. Phillip's giving me a full-blown education over here. SVG. Say that. E.
SVG.
I love that.
Yes, it's my little thing I made up. It stands for strategy, versatility, execution. It's what I try to. That's what I try to hone all my tournaments. That's kind of like my game plan is those 3 areas.
And you know what I love about that? And y'all probably that can apply to life. I was sitting there. I'm gonna take notes on that. That was good. I like that.
I better patent that.
You better.
Yeah, I want to get
trademark that joker. But anyway, the fun things, guys. Okay, I always like doing this. Every athlete that comes in here, it's a rite of passage. I want to know something funny that's happened to you guys. Something that's been out of the ordinary that would make somebody else laugh. Where, whether you're on the boat, or you're casting or falling in, hopefully not around the alligators. So, tell me about that.
I can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
Something embarrassing, something. Well, I mean, it's you two. I know y'all don't get it. If I could pull up that crowd on that pontoon boat, yeah, what would that moment be?
Be interesting.
Huh?
Be interesting.
Listen to him.
I imagine it's been a while, but y'all are on the water all the time. When's the last time you fell in?
I don't think I've ever fell in.
Really?
Yeah.
No, never.
Wow.
Never.
Okay.
Knock on wood.
I fell off the bank into the water, but never off a boat into the water.
You didn't fall off a perfectly good boat.
No.
You fell off the perfectly good land.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
My mom, she works at a summer camp during the summer. She's a cook, and so I always used to go out on the pier and fish. And there was like a concrete wall, and there was water below it. And I used to just walk down that concrete wall, and I guess one time I took a wrong step and went down.
Game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the campers were watching me, so that was embarrassing.
Did they laugh or did they? Are you okay?
They helped me up, and then they laughed.
Then they laughed.
Yeah,
at you.
it was pretty funny.
At least they helped you up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most embarrassing thing. I played basketball.
Yeah.
And I got made a fool of. I got my ankles snapped.
Crossed. Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
Set it up for us. How did it happen?
I was going on a trap, right? It was in a press.
Yeah.
And the point guard, man, he was shifty. And I tried cutting him off on the sideline. And he did something crazy with the ball. And like, I've never got my ankles broken before. I got pretty good balance. I can stay upright. And he hit me with a crossover 1-2, and I fell. And the student section there started laughing at me.
Wow. That was hurtful.
Well, it was funny in a way because I know how it is when you laugh at other people when they when they get their ankles broken. But
yeah.
So the awkward part is getting up, right? Like, what do you do when you get up? Do you look around? Do you laugh?
Hey, yeah.
I just try to get back on defense, man.
Yeah. Just shrug it off.
Yeah, try to. I mean, I laughed about it because
you have to.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good story. You guys, we talked about it offhand, but what are your plans? You crack me up on your. What are your future plans? You're getting closer than our friend over here, but you.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't plan on pursuing fishing further than high school. I mean, I still want to fish as often as I can because I love it, but I plan on going to aerospace engineering, working on like military stuff, helicopters on airports and stuff like that.
That'll be fun.
Should be. Hope so.
Where's that passion come from?
Man, I don't know. Well, my dad, he works in Huntsville, and he works on stuff like that. He works on windshields and stuff like that.
Awesome.
And he's been working there for 27 years. So I don't know, just seeing him do it and
like car windshields? Are you talking about?
Airplane.
Airplane.
He makes windshields for commercial airplanes, military stuff, helicopters, fighter jets, everything.
Wow.
It's PPG.
Jeez.
That's really cool.
He works up there, and two, they pay good. So if I can,
obviously,
if I can try to get myself up to there and stuff, then that'd be awesome,
Kaden?
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Like
You're
I said,
a freshman. You got 4 years.
Yeah, I do, but I'd like to keep pursuing fishing. It's something that my dad he's taught me everything about it, and I just since I was little I fell in love with doing it, and I mean I love doing it every day, and if I could go fishing every day I would, and it's just something that Gunnersville, it's just such a special lake to me, and it's just something that I'd like to keep on doing as I move on.
Awesome. Phillip?
Me?
Yeah, you got any questions?
Oh, questions. I thought you were looking at me for some questions.
It's miscellaneous right here. So yeah.
Okay. What if you got to go anywhere in the country to fish? Do you have any highlight places that you would love to go check out?
Mine would probably either be Sam Rayburn or the St. Lawrence River. It'd probably be one of them two.
Okay, I've been to both last year. Both pretty cool. St. Lawrence River is really cool. It's like castles and all the islands. You heard of Thousand Islands before?
No.
Look it up. Thousand Islands. It's the river with all these.
I've eaten the
salad.
dressing. Yeah,
I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's good.
It's got all these crazy homes on all these little islands all over, saying big, giant, smallmouth.
Yeah.
That's one of my worst events of the year, but
Thousand Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Yeah. Florida's. I'd tell you to add Florida to your list in there. Harris Chain. Pretty cool.
Florida's an ideal place I'd like to go fishing.
Yeah.
I got some friends down there fishing out there, and they send me pictures. Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really
yeah.
beautiful.
What about you? Where would you like to go?
Somewhere in Florida.
Somewhere
I just like the lakes in Florida, man. They just look pretty, and they look appeasing, man.
Yeah, they do.
The grass there and all that stuff. The weather.
Weather's awesome. I was just down there, and it was crazy. January 1st, I was in shorts and a T-shirt, and I was sweating.
The alligators.
Yeah,
the way you rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
Wait, do not fall in the lake. Yeah.
You do. No.
That's something you don't want to do.
Not there. No. Lake Eufaula's like that, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh, no. That's a no.
Yeah.
So,
Did you guys ever fish from like a float tube or walk the banks? Well, you guys fish pond. You pond fish, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
He has a little bit. I have a little bit, but not much.
You guys ever do the float tube? That was a cool time in my life. Fishing out of a float tube.
I've done a kayak a couple times.
Oh, that's the big thing now is the kayak.
I have a fishing kayak. I don't have a boat. I don't have an actual bass boat. I have a fishing kayak. I fish out of it.
I'm curious here. You guys looked at me like I was crazy when I said, you know what a float tube is?
No.
Wow. I don't know if I'm old or what. Float tube is like a little, you never seen a float tube for bass fishing?
Not for bass
Man, I must
fishing.
be
I mean, I've
old.
seen one like a pool
Jeez.
toy.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, it's just like literally like a tool. And you put your fins on, you sit in the water, you got your rods. Yeah, but now I guess kayaks have really taken over. That's like the thing now.
don't do that in Eufaula.
Yeah. You don't want to do that in alligator. Maybe that's why, because we're in the South. There's alligators a lot. In California, it's.
I'm glad we don't have them in Gunnersville. Yes. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
hey,
thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. There's different styles. There's like the U kind too. He pulled it up here. Yeah, thank you.
There you
Make
go.
me look crazy here.
That's right. No, Steven's good at this.
Yeah, man, we used to
when
drop
all
these
of us
in.
are clueless.
We dropped these into like little ponds.
There's the U one. There's the U one.
Let's see.
There
you go. There you go. But yeah, I guess like you said, I think kayaks have just dominated the last like 8-9 years. The kayak fishing is huge. I think so.
You can wear it like a backpack.
Dude, you sit in there, your feet in there.
Look at that.
You wear waders if it's cold. If not, your feet.
You get tired, you just fall backwards.
And you put a.
I'm in.
Hey, we'd have little rod holders on the back, so you could bring 3 or 4 rods on
Nice.
the tackle box, and you just, man, that's why I grew up as a kid fishing the lake, paddling around on the float tube, man.
He was not in Lake Eufaula.
No,
so.
gosh, no. Yeah, you wouldn't.
What is that nibbling on my toe?
You wouldn't have a leg or 2.
So I've made a lot of observations since I've been working here in Gunnersville, and one thing I've noticed is it really doesn't matter what the weather's like outside. There's always going to be somebody out on Lake Gunnersville fishing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So does it matter if it's cold, if it's warm, if it's daylight, if it's dark? What's the deal? When's a good time to fish, guys?
Every time.
All the time.
Anytime you can get on the lake is a good time to go.
Oh, that's cool.
When's the best time?
Probably morning time. As soon as the sun comes up or as soon as the sun goes down. I've never really night fished, so I don't
like
know.
fishing in the spring.
Bass fishing is a sport.
You do or you don't?
I do. I like fishing in the spring.
Yeah, so bass fishing is a sport, to answer the question too, where unless it's like a tornado or really, really crazy wind, tournament is going. So we have to practice and be out there in all conditions and learn it in all conditions. So
wow,
nice. So the fish don't shy away.
They change, and that's one of the cool things about the sport, right? It's a different. You have to learn how to adapt to them in all the different weather patterns, all the way down to wind direction, water temperature, water clarity. Did it rain? Post front, pre front. There's a lot of variables in bass fishing. That's what makes it cool.
To answer that, when people tell you that fishing is easy,
it's not.
It's not easy. There's more variables. I don't think I'm being biased here. There's more variables in bass fishing than probably any other sport that I can think of. It is more it's out of control.
Wow.
So many variables. And the guy who can put the most of them together and then make the right decisions and then execute,
it's the winner.
Yeah. And it's changing all the time. It's not consistent for even a lot of times it's changing by the minute, by the hour. Clouds come in, it changes, rain comes in, wind direction, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Because we've had a man where it's been just sun beating down, no wind, no nothing, ain't caught nothing. And then here comes some clouds and a little bit of breeze and we'll start catching them.
Yeah.
Clouds go away, we'll quit catching them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
That's crazy.
Well, Kaden, Landon, thank you so much for this interview. I sure have enjoyed you guys. The show keeps going on, but our interview's over, so thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
You guys are amazing. Steven?
88.5 JFM is...
Get to my questions. Hey, Steven, before freestyle, you got one video or two left that
sure,
make
I got
us
some
laugh?
stuff. I got some stuff here.
Steven, you're a legend.
Let me see.
Oompa Loompas. I see them over there.
Remember that? Remember you interviewed Lauren Buchanan and Lathan Miles?
I do.
Remember when Lauren Buchanan said her best friend's right?
Is that you?
She would hit with a car?
Yeah.
That's me.
Nice. Why would she hit you with a car?
I don't know. She's mean like that.
Where is she?
She said school.
Lauren,
They're getting ready for a basketball
Lauren,
game.
you need to talk to me. I need answers. Why would you hit such a nice guy? So this is your best friend?
Oh, yeah, her and Trevor Ball.
Okay. So y'all run together.
Oh, yes, sir.
Nice. Awesome.
How big is your high school?
It's 4A. So, wait.
500,
How many people?
How many people? We have about, it varies from, some grades have 80 to about 100 kids per grade. And depending on the class, some classrooms have 30 kids in it. Some have 10.
Dude, my graduating class, 1,000 people. High school, 4,000 kids. Crazy.
Where's your hometown at?
Antioch, California. Lived on the Delta, 10 minutes from the water. But, yeah.
Najee Harris came from there, didn't
he? Yeah, no, Najee Harris came from Antioch High. I was Deer Valley, the other end. There was 2 high schools in Antioch. Or there is still. Yeah, Najee Harris came from there. Yeah.
He was kind of phenomenal.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
He plays for
the Steelers.
Pittsburgh, right?
Steelers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, he was...
he played for a little team called Alabama before.
Nothing major.
Yeah. I knew that. I remember when he got drafted, yeah.
He used to jump over people at Notre Dame before
So
he
he's
did
from-
it in the...
So that was born and raised in the town I was born and raised
That's
in.
awesome.
Antioch. Yeah, Antioch, California.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot of athletes.
high-fiving each other. And
Yeah, a lot of athletes have come out of my little area.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's in the water.
What's that? It's in the water. Yeah, it might be. For sure.
It's definitely in the water.
So, guys, it's probably been a while. When's the last time you saw a really good magic show?
Come on.
Really good magic show. You saw somebody pull a rabbit out of a hat. You saw somebody make something disappear.
Man, it's been a minute.
I had a
it?
card guy come up to me in the middle of a Chick-fil-A one time.
Really?
Like, he did a card trick. Like, have you ever seen?
I've seen some pretty cool card tricks,
man.
Well, this one, I think probably the best place to see this one is at a KFC. You'll see why.
You know why he's called Colonel Sanders? No, why? Oh, because he is... Because he's finger-licking good.
Holy smokes.
We didn't see the end of that.
I'm going to play it one more time.
Did he
because
just
I didn't
eat
have it
You know why he's
that?
called Colonel Sanders? No, why? Oh, because he is...
Watch it really closely.
Because he's finger-licking good.
What it is, so he didn't eat it. It's a sleight of hand. He had cotton candy there. So he was able to move the gerbil, whatever that thing was, and then get the cotton candy.
But where did the gerbil
just
go?
in time. I think he dropped down underneath the cage.
You know why he's called Colonel Sanders?
See the cage he's on top of?
Because
Watch.
he is...
Oh, I saw that.
I saw it. Whoa.
Because he's finger-licking good.
But still, that's
I
a pretty good one.
sincerely was feeling for that guinea pig.
Wow.
Why did you eat him? Right?
Wow.
No, I was at Chick-fil-A for real. And one dude walked up and just started doing card tricks. I'm like, okay.
Pretty cool.
Well, yeah. They were good. I had a guy in my high school. He did that.
Oh, really?
He did the craziest one I've ever seen. He had an invisible deck. And he said, pick your card. And he still figured it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I give up.
He figured it out?
Yes.
So you just...
He pulled out a real deck. This is in high school. Like, he wasn't doing any crazy stuff. He literally, invisible deck, then pulls out a real deck. He's like, this is your card. I'm like...
So you just imagine the card that you were picking? Is that how it...
Yeah, you write it down, tell somebody else. But, I mean, he didn't... I'm like, this is crazy.
Maybe that person was on the end.
Landon,
yeah, they must have been
I got to ask
on
you a
the
question, Landon. You ever heard of this guy before?
end. Oh, man.
You ever heard of Boomhauer before, Landon?
I've heard of him.
Have you ever heard
Are
your
you saying
voice?
he sounds like
your
him?
voice right up against his voice?
That's for having.
Dude, you need to listen to Boomhauer sometime. You sound a lot like him. It's really cool. Hey, I have this like superpower figuring out what people sound like. We've had this guy who's been
Jordan.
Jordan.
He sounds like what, Doug?
Just like
From Secret Life of Pets.
Secret Life of Pets. Remember, there's
He looks like him too.
Duke. Yeah, the big dog. He sounds just like him. So anyway, I pull all that to say, sometimes we remind ourselves of other people, whether that can be with our voice or maybe even with our looks. I came across this guy. He's a comedian, and he knows that he looks different from everybody else. He even uses it as part of his act.
What I want y'all to know, I know y'all already thinking about, this is my real head. This is not a comedy head that I put on when I come up here. Ha ha, he. It's not that funny, whatever, player. It is that funny, and let me just tell you this. I know what I look like. I already know. I know if Uncle Fester married a Cabbage Patch baby and had a kid, I would be that kid. I don't
don't care because I got a good personality and that's all that really matters. I'm going to be honest, that's not all that really matters.
He's really
Uncle
good.
Fester had a cat in a cabbage patch kid had a baby. Wow.
Yeah, thought that was good.
Wow. Thank you, Uncle Fester. Who is that?
I have got to find out exactly who he is. I've been following him for a while. I can never remember his name. But Bama is somewhere in there. It's on the channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so guys, do y'all have pets? Dogs, cats, chinchillas, gerbils?
I have two Dobermans.
Dobermans, nice.
I've never met anybody with a pet chinchilla, but I'd like to.
No, we also have cattle.
Cattle.
Brangus cattle.
Brangus cattle.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yep, live on a farm. We've had.
Is that a pet or is that dinner?
No, it's money. It's money.
It's money.
We sell them. No, what happens to them after that's not our problem.
That's pretty cool. My wife wants a cow.
Oh yeah,
so we can eat.
Me too, Phillip. I want one.
A meat cow, not a dairy cow.
Yeah, well, I think she wants both actually. But.
Have you seen the mini cows?
Oh yeah, they're super
mini
cute.
cows.
They're so cute. Yeah.
Have y'all seen a Scottish coo? They call them Scottish coo. When I was in Scotland, they got hair that go over their eyes. They're just long-haired cows.
Oh yeah.
But we've had sheep, chickens, goats.
Is that what your dad does, or your parents?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
we
really.
live on a farm.
There it is, Scottish coo.
Oh yeah.
That's what they call them, Scottish coo. When you're over there, cow. But
interesting. How much? I don't even know how you say that. How much cattle do you have?
Cattle.
Yeah, there you go.
We got about 30 head, I think.
Woo!
And that's us sizing down. We've had more than that. But we've had cattle, and we've got rid of all of our sheep and goats. We showed sheep and goats. Didn't you do it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we've showed sheep and goats before. And then, you also got y'all's chickens?
We have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a couple chickens now.
So these chickens lay eggs?
Yes.
Good. I bet you're glad about that.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad are like,
living
yes!
the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've seen people, they're trading at the pawn shop. They're like taking in a necklace saying, hey, how many eggs will you give me for it?
Like
That's
it.
crazy.
That's reality right now.
Yeah.
So, freestyle?
We can do that, but I was kind of setting up a video there.
No, you go ahead.
Talking about the pets. You ever teach them tricks, guys?
Yes, I've had, not the one I have now, but yes, I've taught a dog to shake.
Yeah? How about you? How about with those Dobermans? Did you say Dobermans?
Yes, sir. That's right, I did. Our old dog, before she died, she was super good, man. She was shake, cool. But she was loyal. But now we have 2 boys.
Okay.
A red rust and then a black one.
Gotcha.
They're a little dumb.
They're a little dumb.
But they're super good dogs, though. And
struggling.
But they're really protective, though. But
yeah.
I mean, they won't bite, but like our oldest one, he'll get up on the steps and like growl at people. Won't let him in. He won't bite them or nothing, but he's really protective and stuff. But he can be smart when he wants to be.
Nice.
I got you. Well,
he wants to be.
Yeah.
You ever try to get them to talk? Like to just, make a sound like they're saying, I love you, or they're saying yes?
I've seen videos of that. No, sir.
Yeah?
No, sir,
Okay.
I haven't.
Well, here's one.
It's time to try.
I want it. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's rock star.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Rockstar.
Yep, that's good stuff.
You're the
right
gift
there.
that never quits giving.
All right, do some freestyle?
Yeah.
All right, let's knock this out.
The Varsity Freestyle.
Yeah, it's time for freestyle. That means it's your chance to win a 5-person all-day pass to B&B video games, so you can go and play in the 80s style arcade in the back. All you gotta do is answer 3 questions. I know you're like, I don't know if I can answer that. Yeah, you can, because we're like phone a friend and we have the answers. So it's a pretty good deal. All you gotta do is call after this first one. This is the first question. What are the team colors of the Alabama Crimson Tide? What are the team colors of the Alabama Crimson Tide?
Want to win? Call us now at 256-505-0885.
Yeah, I played football and I wrestled. I was from Arab. So.
Gotcha. How about you?
I didn't play any sports for high school. Just I was fishing all the time on the weekends, but we didn't have high school fishing, so no high school sports.
He's still really, really cool.
Try. No.
Yeah. Really cool.
I played like Little League baseball, and that was about it until I was like 12 or whatever. But I was always on the river and fishing, and yeah.
Little League baseball.
Little League baseball, man. I was a little guy, so I really couldn't play anything. I didn't hit 4,000 kids in my high school. Okay, I did not hit 5 feet tall until my sophomore year. I was the smallest kid out of 4,000 kids. I did not grow. Yeah, I grew mostly like sophomore, junior year.
Look at you.
I was 4'11". My nickname used to be Little Phil. Hundreds of people call me Little Phil. I was a little guy.
I'm going to remember that one.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I've found is lots of times there are two sides to every person, right? You've got like this really athletic side, and then you got this really creative side. So
yeah.
I wondered, do any of you all do music? Do you draw? Do you do painting? Any kind of creative outlets that way at all? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Guys, don't even sing in the shower.
Oh, I sing. I sing in the shower all the time.
Cool.
I think everybody does that.
Very good.
I feel like you could hit the country music world.
You got a bass voice, dude.
I mean, he does.
Some Josh Turner. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Yeah, man.
Love jamming to that. Love me some Josh Turner, Chris Young.
There you go.
You got the voice.
There you go.
What did you say? Christian country rap.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
I don't know if he's got the rap side. I don't see the rap side to him, though. It usually comes from people like from where I'm from that you got to have the rap more ingrained in you, and you can take into the country. I don't think you can do vice versa.
Right, okay.
Come from country, go into rap. You got to come from rap and kind of add some country twang.
Exactly.
Y'all listen to country rap?
Christian country rap, yeah.
You definitely got the country, man. You could. I think Steven, am I wrong? I think he could pull it.
I think so.
He's got the voice.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to a country music star.
It's not very often you hear a guy with a really low voice who makes it big. So whenever it happens, man, it's like, yes.
Shout out the Varsity Radio Show and make it big.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't forget about us.
Fishing and singing country music. I think you got this.
Think so?
You got cows too, so you get to eat steak. It's a good day. It's a good day.
So since your family is so heavily involved with cattle, what do you think about Wagyu and the other like premium beef?
Expensive meat.
Do you think it's better? Does it taste better? Have you ever tasted?
Yes.
It's much better.
Really?
Yes, sir. It's just a better quality of meat, different cut.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've seen the marbling. It looks insane. There's so much fat to lean ratio that you don't even have to use like butter or oil. It just cooks in its own juices.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Wow.
I've never had it.
Oh, man. I had it in San Diego last year.
Wagyu?
Dude, you could like $100 for one steak. It's so good, though.
Yeah,
Somebody treated
I
us
definitely have not eaten.
I didn't pay for it. Somebody.
Right. Come on, somebody.
Somebody treated us.
I would have eaten it too.
Man.
There's Kobe.
Whole other world.
There's Kobe beef as well. I wonder the difference between the two. I think one's specifically from a particular village or something.
I think you're right. I think Wagyu is, right?
Yeah, I think so. But the Kobe beef, I think it's Japanese as well, but from
I
a different area.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Wagyu, is it Australian?
Oh, man. I think you might be right.
Wagyu? I thought I heard it was
I
Australian.
feel like you might be right. And Kobe's from Japan.
Kobe sounds like
one
Japanese.
of them is Japanese.
Wagyu is a Japanese black.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
Problem,
I just ate
I don't
it.
need
Okay,
it.
it was good.
You're just like, it was life-changing.
Life-changing.
Like I cried as I ate that steak.
Oh.
Tears down my eyes. Yeah. What's the best thing y'all have ever eaten? We're about to talk to Greg, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him coming up.
What's the best thing you've ever eaten?
Probably a really good steak.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
How do you like to cook your steaks? I'm a huge barbecue charcoal.
Yeah.
I cook steaks on the barbecue You can have the gas. You can have all the other stuff.
You can't talk like that and
Weber
not
Grill,
invite
babe.
me over for dinner.
Weber. I haven't invited you for a steak yet, but you have been invited for dinner.
I have been.
Yes.
I've been there. It was fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to Omar, who I think's watching. So, Omar's a phenomenal cook.
Yes, he is.
Yes. He's gifted. Oh, there it is. He has showed us some love, so he's definitely watching.
All right, guys. We got some Greg coming up shortly.
Greg the Man Glasscock.
Yep.
Love
13 seconds.
Now, sports analyst Greg Glasscock.
All right, he's there. What's up, Greg?
Doing all right?
I'm great. Don't you always enjoy your intro?
I do. That fires me up for the rest of the week.
Yeah. If that was my intro, it'd be my ringtone, too. That's pretty awesome. Anyway.
Well, I think for the last month or two, somebody was supposed to be sending it to me.
Oh, okay.
I've sent it to you.
There it is.
Check that spam filter just in case, and I'll resend it to you just in case too.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, I'll check it. Yeah, that would be a cool. That would be a cool ringtone.
Yeah, what? Who wouldn't want that? Anyway,
right.
So Greg, tell us about sports in Marshall County. I know you just went to the county tournament.
Yeah, we just finished up with a county tournament. Believe it or not, there's only a couple weeks left in the regular season. County tournament went well. Not too many real big surprises, I don't guess. As far as varsity boys and girls go, Gunnersville did sweep, which I was happy about that. The girls, I think, coming in as the 1 seed, they were expected to win and probably win big. But in the finals, I tell you, Arab gave them all they wanted. And after the game, I even congratulated some of the Arab staff and all and said, y'all played a heck of a game. I mean, they played Gunnersville off their feet, and that was a very good game. And then on the boys' side, maybe a little bit surprised who actually made the finals. Gunnersville played DAR, and it was my first time to see DAR this year, and they've got a very good team.
Yeah.
Got a lot of firepower. Came up a little bit short. Gunnersville made a big run in that second quarter, which probably sealed the deal overall. It was hard for DAR to recover, but they love to play fast, and I was concerned if Gunnersville could keep up with their pace. But good game, a lot of excitement in the gym. Every night that I was there, probably the best night as far as atmosphere, and this is usually the finals matchup, but being on the same side of the bracket, it was a semifinal matchup between Gunnersville and Albertville. And I mean, I'm surprised the fire marshal didn't have to close the place down or something. I don't think you could have got another person in that night. And Gunnersville won by 2. That was a very good game. Of course, the finals was very exciting too. So, got that out of the way, which, as much as the Marshall County tournament means to the communities and the fans and all, when it comes to the big picture, really doesn't mean anything toward it. You got to win your area games. That's what means something, which some teams in the county have already finished area play. Some are finishing up this week. I'm on my way here in a few minutes to Boaz to see Gunnersville and Boaz tonight, which both those teams have finished area play. This is just a county matchup tonight, and then I'll be on the call on the radio. Gunnersville host Mae Jemison out of Huntsville this Friday night. So, regular season games this week and next week, and 2 weeks from now we'll be talking area tournament. So, seems like just yesterday we started talking about how exciting it was that basketball was just beginning. And here we are almost at the end of the regular season. So just like football, it really does go by fast.
Yeah, it did. Well, Greg, I appreciate you updating us. I'm glad that went down how it did. And, man, the DAR guys, they're in here now. They were very excited when you You talked about them.
Well, they should be excited. Got a great team. I think Coach Jonas, I've known him for a while from his days actually playing at Douglas and then coaching at Arab and all. I think he's done a real good job with that program. I tell you what, another shout-out to DAR. I covered the JV boys game where DAR played Guntersville in the finals, and I tell you what, there are several guys on that DAR JV team that'll probably be on the varsity level easily next year. They've got some very talented kids on that JV, so congratulations to them for winning the JV final and then making the varsity finals. I think there's a bright future up there in Grant in basketball.
Yeah, they were excited to hear you say that. So anyway, well, Greg, I so appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're looking forward to talking to you next week.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. Take care now.
Yes, sir. Bye, Greg.
Bye.
That was almost country Christian rap.
I got to show you some after the show.
Please.
What? So you have an idea.
Yeah.
Float tubes, Christian country rap,
right.
A couple things.
I need to listen. We're getting this guy over here. He's at Landon. He's going to be a rapper. Country Christian rapper.
There you go.
I like it.
Like it.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do you play basketball still?
No, sir. I actually quit this year. I've played my whole entire life.
Did the coach cry?
No, he's upset, though.
I understand that.
He's a little disappointed. But you understood, though. But I got burnt out over it.
Yeah.
It's a grind. But last year was his first year, man, and he brought a new kind of buzz around our school, man.
Yeah.
And last year we had some guys a little undersized. We couldn't really compete. It was a little streaky. But this year we brought a bunch of guys back, got some really good seniors. We got 8 seniors, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And we are.
Hence why they played so good.
I thought we was like 1-3 away from tying the state record for most threes hitting the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
State record? Wow.
We can shoot when we want to.
Yes.
But Guntersville, though, was, we beat the crap out of some teams to get to the championship game. We got to Guntersville. We hung with them for, like you said, the second quarter, and they went on a little run. Their athleticism kind of got to us. We made some dumb mental mistakes. But once we got there, and they kind of got ahead. We came out of halftime, cut it to like a single-digit game again, and then they hit like 3 and just killed our momentum. But no, we have as soon as we leave here, I'm headed back home and get ready to go to the game. We have an area game tonight against New Hope.
Nice.
And they're our biggest rivals.
I hope you pull that.
Sir?
Tear them up.
Tear them up.
I said I hope you pull that off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you show up to all the games.
Yes, sir. Try to.
Love it. Love it. Hey, in a minute, Steven is going to pop up this. So we're at the end of the show right there. That is called Buzzer Beater, and we're going to tell people where to find us when the show is over. So I will say that, and I will tell you, you can find us on Instagram, and you'll say that.
What does it say?
At Varsity Radio Show.
Okay.
You'll say Facebook. You'll say Twitter. Steven will do TikTok. I'll finish with podcast.
Say Facebook at Varsity Radio
Yes.
Show.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
40 seconds.
And then if you want to bust out and singing a country song, we will not be hurt. Our feelings.
Hey, I'll do the rap section. You do. No.
That's right. There it is.
No, yeah, no.
Look, I just created something beautiful.
Right.
Can you beatbox?
Yes and no. I don't do it in public, but I can.
Not in public.
I had where I come from. There's everybody that was a lot better than I can, but I can do it. Some people that ever hear me are like, "Oh, he's all right." Nothing of any great talent.
I would say he's phenomenal.
No, absolutely not. I can do it. It doesn't sound terrible, but it's not anything special.
The Buzzer Beater.
That sound lets you know where you can find us when the show is over. You can find us at Instagram.
At the Instagram Varsity Radio Show.
Yeah, you can find us at Facebook.
Facebook, the Varsity Radio Show.
You can find us at Twitter at Varsity Radio Show 885.
Of course, on TikTok at Varsity Radio Show.
And podcasts, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Hey, we are so glad that you were part of this show today. We never take it for granted. We think you guys are fantastic. Hey, We want to tell you also, though, people who make this place so wonderful, the fuel of the varsity is the Char Burger. It's the home of the famous Char Grill Wildcat Burger, Philly cheesesteak, and jumbo crispy onion rings, and B&B video games. They're right by the Pizza Hut, as any 80s style anything should be. There's an 80s style arcade in the back, a video game retail store in the front. That is B&B video games. Hey guys, we are honored again, like I said, that you joined us today. Hope you learned something about fishing, DAR, and my man Phillip Dutra. He's super cool. Anyway, we want you to come back next week, same varsity time, same varsity place, 88.5 JFM, the Varsity Radio Show.